Good morning. Welcome to another exciting edition of American Canadian Racing League. I'm your host, Joshua Lee Jaguar. Another exciting edition of American Canadian. Sorry about that, about the echo. But we're back again, and we got our co-host, Bulldog, back in the house after missing last week. I probably had to do last week by myself, but oh well. We're back again. Oh my God. Hey. We're finally off of a road course this week. Finally. So, how you been doing today? Alrighty. Well, guess what? We're going to do the race recap from Sonoma. Race recap is brought to you by K&K Diecast Community. Check them out on Facebook. It's K&K Community Diecast. Alright, stage 1 winner from last Sunday was Metallica. Then second was Bean Hangover, third. Fourth, Jaguar Clemson, fifth. Tar Heel, sixth. Simon, seventh. Paul, eighth. Ninth was Bulldog, and Bruce finished 10th. Alrighty. Your stage 2, of course, went to Metallica, Bean, Hangover, Jaguar, Simon, Clemson, Bulldog, Paul, Tar Heel, and Bruce. Your final results. Metallica sweeps the entire race with Hangover finishing second. Joshua Lee Jaguar finishing third. Simon bringing the 48 home in fourth, a top 5 finish. Tar Heel, after him saying I ain't good at road courses, finishes 5th. Bean finishes 6th. Clemson finishes 7th. Bulldog finishes 8th. Paul finishes 9th. Bruce finishes 10th. Tonight we roll into the Great Poconos for a 65-lap race. Tonight, we are 10 races away from the playoffs starting tonight. We are 10 races till the playoffs. That's right, you heard me correctly. 10 races. In 4 weeks, we will be going to, drum roll, Bristol Dirt. 2 times where and 125 laps at Bristol Dirt in these new gen cars right here. Now, alrighty, Dustin. We go into Pocono. We're rolling into Pocono tonight. Points. Points. I'm gonna look at. I'm going to the points right now. But all right, points right now before we go into details about tonight and discuss stuff going on with the stuff going in. Hangover with a commanding lead, 839. Tar Heel with a 771 in second. Joshua Lee Jaguars 685. Bruce with 631. Simon with 532. Clemson knocking on Simon's door with 531. Bulldog is at 489. We got a tie between them two with Rico with 489. Rogue with 488. Julian with 468. Dilly with 430. Paul with 135. Metallica with 119. Bean at 111. Hoffman with 102. And Bree with 69. Now, like I said, we roll into Pocono, like it's right here on the screen. 65 laps. It's crunch time. It is crunch time. As a big reminder, I did get this word. Me and Ryan was talking a couple of days ago. It's crunch time now. 10 races till the playoffs start. And it starts tonight with 10 races. And by the way the points are, with 10 races starting tonight, we are 10 races away All right. Sorry, I'm having to miss this. I'm trying to get another person in here. So, but now, like I said, me and Ryan was talking, I believe it was Wednesday or Tuesday, one of them 2 days, and we were talking, starting tonight, we are 10 races till we go into the playoffs. I mean, all righty, Dustin. We've got 10 races. Start. All righty. All right. With the playoffs fixing to start, like I said, in 10 races. What's the mortality now, since we are an official 10 races away from the playoffs? What do you think of among the other drivers? What's their game plan with these last 10 races rolling in for us for the playoffs, before the playoffs start? Because okay, on the other prospect of this right here, it's points are looking at being a crucial part right here. I mean, with certain tracks coming up, like tonight, Pocono, Michigan, Texas, and then we got Bristol Dirt coming up. And then follow Bristol Dirt, we got the Glen, back out of road course. After that, we got Talladega, Bristol, Road America, Michigan, and then the season finale for the regular season ends at Kansas. So if you was one of them drivers, a non-playoff driver right now that's not got locked in, what's your, well, I'm going to answer this one too right here, but what's their concept going in and to try to better half this 10 race stretch with knowing the playoffs are coming up, knocking at the door? The question is, how's people going to be reacting with this 10 race schedule coming up, with this 10 race schedule coming up for the playoffs? How's that? I mean, I'm talking about in general of other drivers besides you right here.
Hey, you got a sippy cup.
All right. We got somebody that is just joined us. We got Clemson that is riding. Hold on, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is riding 6 in points, only 1 point behind 5th. Clemson, thank you for joining the show on this short notice. But this is a question that I've asked Bulldog too. We are in we got 10 races in a 10 race stretch till the playoffs. For a driver right now, I mean, I'm talking anybody in general that's not got locked in, what's the general aspect of trying to get themselves locked in? And this is coming for you right here because of how you're right there among 5th and 6th in the points right now, trying to get yourself locked in. But how's it affect the other drivers from now until Kansas? All right. You haven't been on the show much, but a question: how's that 22 car feeling after the second half? No, after that second half of the season, you were struggling right there, but after Sonoma, you finished 5th in stage 1, your second time or third time in this season finishing in the top 5 in a stage. But how's your team right now, and how's it going to compare going into these last 10 races before the playoffs start? How's the 22 count feeling right now? Are you anxious, or are you kind of nervous about not getting into the playoffs right now as a scenario, knowing there's a scenario right there in the back of your head that you've got to try to sneak out some couple of stage points like in the top 5, or are you going to focus on trying to get in based on points for the next 10 races? All right. Who's the main driver that you're looking at to try to beat right now to trying to say if it came down to points situations? Who's that driver that you think you have to beat to try to get into that last playoff spot if it falls down to the playoff on based on points right there? All righty, top 5. Well, I mean, your top 3 right now are already locked in. Your Hangover, Tar Heel Jaguars already got locked in based on wins. Rico's got locked in by a win. Dilly's locked in on a win. Metallica got on with a win, and Bean has got in with the win. So it's going to come down, and this is the scenario right now. If once everybody moves ahead of y'all, Simon, you, Bulldog, Rogue, Julian, Paul, and Hoffman. That's your 2 big. That's probably the ones that you have to look at right there. But this is how's that going to affect on the ones that you know that's got to win? You're playing safe with them, but knowing you got Simon, Bulldog, Rogue, Paul, and Hoffman that ain't got to win. But how do you try to maneuver with that, knowing that the other 6 drivers right now have already got that playoff spot, already got locked in, and you're scratching your head right now, but what would you do I understand you probably wouldn't race 30, but if it came down to, this is for both of y'all right here, on points. Clemson, same question right there. If it was the last race before the playoffs start, and you got to finish ahead of someone, what would you do to try to race clean and also race efficient? What would you say right there? Okay. All right. 4 weeks from now, we go to Bristol. This goes to basically both of y'all right here and myself right here. How do you feel going into Bristol in 4 weeks, racing on the dirt? You had a strong car Friday night. Well, no, you missed that. You missed that race by 10 minutes right there. But Clemson, did that help you to get prepared for that race in 4 weeks, racing that Bristol race Friday night? All right. You think that's an advantage for the ones that have raced at Bristol Dirt so far that could get the concept of it and put something in stone right there? You think that's going to help the ones that has the practice with the Bristol Dirt, or is it going to be more of trying to figure out, like we did in stage one, who's got the faster car? Is it going to come down to the experience, or is it going to come down to the ones that are paying attention on how people are racing here? Well, what's uh, all right? Do you think it's an advantage for the ones that have already raced here that know what the car is going to handle with 125 laps? Clemson, what do you think? All right. Okay. Going into tonight, you're 1 point below fifth. I mean, you're what's your mindset going in and for tonight's race right here, because of you're only 1 point, like I said, you're 1 point below fifth right now. Are you going in trying to finish ahead of Simon, or are you playing it safe right now, playing defense right now? Or are you going to be playing both sides, trying to see where that 48 car is at the end? All right. Well, well, we know Hangover. We know Hangover's got the regular season championship right now with 10 races to go. You know he's going to have that a regular season championship right there after the end of this, after the regular season. But who's the dual threat with these next 10 races right here besides Hangover? Who's y'all's dual threat right now that y'all have to pay attention to for these next 10 races? Who's y'all's dual threat driver that you have to watch for the next 10 races? All right, you're saying Jaguar's the dual threat with these next 10 races coming up. I mean, looking at Jaguar's stats, it's coming for Jaguar to actually make a breakout win. Don't know when, but it's going to be a breakout win for him if he can get something going with that number 19. And that 19's been consistent. But the one I'm seeing being that dual threat right now with 10 races to go, I'd say that number 9 car right there, Tar Heel. He finished 5th Sunday night, and I'm repeating what he said. I can't stand the road courses. Well, you came home 5th right here, so I mean that's what I was scratching my head on this week, right here, trying to come up with something for the show, and I was like, wait a minute. Ryan said he had no idea. He said he hated this track right here. He sucked at it. And he finished 5th right there. So, my dual threat right now, I'd say that number 19 and that 9 car is going to be a threat for the next 10 races right here besides Metallica and Bean. And, of course, you know Hangover is going to be hungry to try to get some more wins for the playoffs. Do you see anybody else that could break them top 4 drivers right there? Hangover, Metallica, Bean, and Ryan. I mean, there's 5 drivers among the top 5 right here. Hangover, Metallica, Bean, Ryan, and Jaguar. You see any of them other drivers? Well, the question is, you see any of the drivers that have one win? You see them breaking out, trying to get another win before the playoffs start? Well, I mean, that's the biggest thing right there, is trying to get the idea. I mean, if I was, I'm gonna pick on Paul and Clemson right here. I know Clemson's right here in the party chat, in the show with us, but if the 22, and I believe, I can't remember what Carter and Paul was in. I got to go look at this. If Paul and Clemson, if the 4 counts, all right, I can't pick on just 2 drivers. If the 4 counts are struggling, I mean, they've got to figure out something going amongst them right there, because the 4 counts are not struggling like anybody else. I mean, the Toyotas have picked up 2 wins already for this season, but Chevy is dominating. Ford's got 3 wins besides the All-Star race right there. Ford has got, Ford's only got 2 wins this season right there because of Sonoma and the All-Star race. So yeah, but the thing is, does the four drivers having to work with each other? That's the question right there for both of y'all right here. Are the four drivers going to be working with each other when we go to the super speedway here in the next 5 weeks? Clemson, what's your aspect on this right here? You want to work with your four guys, or do you want to work with the other manufacturers in 5 weeks going into Talladega? Okay. Who's your dark driver to make the playoffs? Who's your dark driver to sneak into the playoffs? Bulldog, what do you say? Who's your dark driver to make the playoffs based on points? Jaguars are already locked in. How am I supposed to get based on? I mean, my dark horse driver is Paul, because I got a funny feeling. I love Paul to death, but that 2 car is scratching his head right now as we speak. He's got something up his sleeve within the next 4 to 5 weeks right here. We got Bristol Dirt is an unknown track right here for us. Talladega, everybody knows how to race at a restrictor plate race. That's the only 2 tracks I see Paul could possibly get that win if he would just stay consistent. That is the thing, is staying consistent and patience. Yes, patience is a virtue, but it's still, who would I see to get their first win out among of y'all 3 drivers? I hate to say this. We go to Bristol, the Bristol Dirt. If everything works in play right here, and this one driver stays patient, focus, don't get cocky, pay attention to his surroundings, and to listen who's down low, who's up high, or who's behind him, this driver will actually succeed and win at Bristol Dirt. I know I'm calling this out way too early, but I'm going to go ahead and say this right here. It's going to be that number 22 car in victory lane at Bristol Dirt in 4 weeks. I could change my picks from today until 4 weeks, but I'm going to stick with this right here because it's going to come down. That 22, that Pendle Shell 4 Fusion or Mustang, and that number 19 Toyota. Them 2 drivers are the ones that you have to watch in the next 4 weeks. But now, this is my favorite time of the show. It's Rack 'em and Stack 'em, where we pick Stage 1, Stage 2 overall race win. I am going to start with Dustin. Rack 'em and stack 'em where we pick stage 1, stage 2 overall race win. I want to go with Dustin. Dustin, who's your stage 1, stage 2, and overall race win tonight here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle tonight with 65 laps? You're on the clock. Actually, Metallica's not racing tonight. Yeah. Spencer is not racing tonight. Wow. Whoa. Time out. You're literally calling out Paul and Clemson to win the first. I'm not criticizing you. You're going with a underdog tonight to win stage 1 tonight. Dang. I like that right there. That's the first time we've actually had someone do a pick that we did not do no underdog picks. We did not pick the Cinderella picks right here. We did. I won't do that until next week. But having an underdog going into tonight's stage 1 win with Clemson and Paul? Okay. Stage 2 race winner. Overall race win. Who's your overall race winner tonight? That'd be Simon.
And maybe moving the Japan trip back a little bit longer.
Nope.
A little bit more time to save money.
So you're saying Simon will get the race win tonight. Alrighty, Clemson. Stage 1, stage 2 overall race win tonight.
Yeah, but with everybody finding out just now, even where they're finding out the cost of everything.
All right, stage 2. All right, before we go into overall, people that has chose me this so far this year, I've not had no stage wins. I've only had one race win. I've not had no stage wins yet. But I do got that one race win, and that was at my favorite track at Vivas Las Vegas, right there. All right, overall race win tonight. You're going with Hangover for the overall race win. All righty. My stage 1 winner, stage 1 will be that 5 car right there. Stage 2, I got to go with Tar Heel. I literally got to go with that number 9 Napa car right there. He's hungry. He is hungry for a win. But I believe he's going to secure that stage 2 win tonight. Overall, oh man, I hate to do this right here, but something's telling me, a little birdie's telling me to go with that number 19 Bass Pro Joshua Lee Jaguar against that number 19 Toyota Camry in Victory Lane at the Tricky Triangle tonight. Because it is going to come down to fuel mileage, and the best one that is good at fuel mileages at these big tracks, and of course, is that number 19. That 19 is hungry for a win, and it's no regular cars. That number 19 is hungry. He's itching. He's came so close. He's finished third, And I believe that 19's finally got something tonight. If that 19 could stay out of the shenanigans tonight, that number 19 is going to be a threat. He's always in the right spot, but can never finish it because of a late caution or a race incident that took him out. So I got to go with that number 19 car tonight here at Pocono. So overall, guys, before we wrap things up, what is the race excitement tonight? What driver do you think is going to come out and show that they belong in the playoff? Who's that one driver that stands up right now that will probably surprise everybody tonight to try to get their selves locked into the playoffs? Who is that one driver? Start with Dustin. Simon? Clemson? Who's that ideal driver that's going to stand out tonight that's not locked into the playoffs yet? Who's that one driver that you think is going to stand out tonight? Alrighty, I'm gonna agree with y'all on this one right here. I'm gonna have to say that 22 car. He has, as a driver and someone that analyzes each race during a pre-race show, as an analyst right here. I mean, I'm taking myself out of the driver's prospect right here. As for me, as I see things as a analyst right here, that number 22 car they did lose a lot of momentum in the first half of the season, but now with 10 races to go, they're slowly picking up. The only downfall with the 22, and I'm saying this because this is what I've seen, and the 22 has to. I feel the 22 has something for everybody, and it's just that they're trying to put them puzzles together and to make sure, okay, I got to make this right decision. If I screw up right here, I want to take myself out. That 22 camp is slowly putting pieces together, and once they get all them pieces together, then they're going to be a threat. I'm not saying a dual threat. I'm saying a threat to the other drivers that are not in the back of the pack type of drivers right here. This is where the 22 steps up, slowly starts progressing his average finish up to a top 5, and that's where he's going to be slowly at until he can once he gets all that figured out, then he's going to move up, finishing in the top 5, top 4, sneak into a podium finish, but it won't be an every week thing. It will be a race that, okay, I finished right here in the 3rd position, next week finishes 5th. So it's it's like a mid-car. He's like a mid-car pack, but he's finally proven to be a top 5, top 3 car. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Clemson tonight to stand out. This is a track that is patience right here. You have to focus. You got to be paying attention to what's around the track, because you do got the tunnel turn right there. You got 1 and 2. You got 3 and 4. You can overdrive 3 and 4. You can overdrive the tunnel turn here. So, that being said, it's going to be one of the ones that you have to think. It's like a chess match going into tonight. Now, I mean, I hate playing chess, but it's something it has to be played. If I was Clemson going into, I hate to use him. If I was Clemson or Simon right now, my theory for tonight is to finish ahead try to finish among the top 3 drivers. That's already locked into the points. These two drivers have to start realizing 10 races to go to the playoffs.
No. Use that. No, that's tequila.
But guys, thank y'all for joining us, and we're about to start some practice here up. And once again, thank y'all for tuning in for this amazing pre-race show. We will be back next Sunday morning at 10:30 for another pre-race show. And if Clemson, you're more welcome to join us at 10:30 on Sunday mornings to hop in and chit-chat, give us a rundown on how your race was, and talk about the upcoming race. So you're more welcome to join us next Sunday morning. But a big shout out to all of our armed forces, our military, our EMTs, our police officers, our firefighters. Big shout out to our militaries people. But until then, guys, God bless everyone, and we will see y'all back again next Sunday morning at 10:30. Until then, peace. Thanks.